Bank of Switzerland have said that there's a 93% likelihood of the United States going into a recession by the end of the year. 93%. That's pretty high odds, isn't it? Okay, it is a Swiss bank and what have you, and they've got their own financial issues, whether it be Credit Suisse and stuff like that, you know. Credit Suisse, or Credit Suisse, whatever it would be anyway. But it's a telltale sign that nothing's good in the economy. Not for you. See, those at the top, they always they do well when there's a recession. They'll buy up all the property, they'll buy up all the land, anything's up for sale cheap because they got the money. They know full well it'll turn around and things will pucker up and all that, and as I say, they'll get return on the money. Now, I don't know if the United States has got something similar, but in the UK we've got something called asset holding companies, and anyone could have an asset holding company. You haven't got to be a British citizen. You could be a foreign citizen. And what it means is that you can actually take money out of the profits from your investments out of the asset holding company without paying any tax if you are a foreigner. But if you are a British citizen, you have to pay your taxes on it. Which is a bit of a piss take, to be honest. So what they do is they invest in stuff, destroy your economy, and then profit from it. They're right shit, aren't they? They really are right shit. Now, I don't like to actually belittle bankers, because not all bankers are all the same, you know? The banking system is the problem, and those right at the top, the partners, they're the problem. Because they turn a blind eye to stuff that they should never turn a blind eye to, such as Jeffrey Epstein. You know, they were funding him. Funding him, they were. JP Morgan, you know? Even the Deutsche Bank was interested in him. But you see, unemployment has caught up now, and actually part of this is actually from Biden's term, from March to March. The unemployment figures, like nearly 1 million people lost jobs. Pretty dire, you know. And if your GDP growth comes down, that ain't great either. But at the moment, we're looking at what they're saying here. You've got 2 consecutive months of negative growth. Well, then you're in a recession. That's kind of like the technical reference point for it. But we have to also understand it's not just about the gross domestic product, or whether it's core inflation, you know. It's what you got left in your pocket that matters. Well, I suppose that's core inflation, really. But are you feeling rich at the moment? No, I didn't think you did. I didn't think you were. Not about $50 a pound for a bit of beef, a bit of beef steak. Bloody crazy. Huge prices on everything, including eggs and everything. I paid, like I've mentioned several times before, I paid about €4 to €5 for 30 free-range eggs, from our local farm. Even in the stores, they're not that dear. 10 eggs for free-range are $2.60. It's darn sight cheap, put it like that. A lot of people in the US are paying between €8 and €10, is that? For 10 eggs, something like that, anyway. Well, I've been told anyway. I suppose it depends from state to state where you are, I'm sure. But, when you've got a government that all they want to do is increase the cost of everything, needless to say, you're spending more money. And when it's food and the basics of life, the core ingredients, it hits people hard, doesn't it? People can't survive. People are struggling. And then obviously you've got a lack of health care. All this stuff, you can't, I say it once, I say it again, you can't have a healthy economy without having a healthy population. The two and two go hand in hand. People that are constantly off sick aren't productive, are they? No, it's not rocket science, is it? It's just, what are you doing, Sebastian? What are you looking for? So no, it's it doesn't, in my mind, none of it kind of makes a lot of much sense. Now, they have said that consumer spending in August has actually gone up in the United States. But why has it gone up? Is it because you're buying more product? No. It's gone up because the product is more expensive. And it's the same for these industries, these businesses. If you want to think about their bottom line, the cost for them to do business, in other words, eating the tariffs, all of a sudden they've got less profit margin. It's being squeezed because of the tariffs. If they're eating the tariffs, that is. If they're not passing it on, in many cases they have to. If there's not enough profit margin in the product. So effectively, they're not making so much money, so that means there's less tax revenue. There's no win. There's no win. It's a fail situation, unfortunately. But that's what happens when you put a moron in the White House. And we had the same problems, with the Tory party. We had one moron after the other. We had David Cameron who did the Brexit. Fucking hell. Which screwed the UK's economy massively. Still ain't got no growth. And now, and then what do we get after that? Oh, crikey, we've got Liz Truss, who was in there for about 40 odd days, got beaten by a feck of lettuce. Then we got Rishi Sunak, which is probably, the worst of all evils. Oh no, the best of all evils, sorry, even though he was corrupt. Handing over contracts to his family businesses. So, that was a bit dodgy, quite frankly. Conflicts of interest, just like Trump again. Like, he keeps giving contracts to his friends. His powerful friends, And then you got lobbying and all that sort of stuff, No, it's all about them, the billionaires, isn't it? It's all about them who got the most money are the ones who always profit from us little people. It's no different than having a monarchy, really, where you're the serfs. I know it's not quite the same in the United Kingdom, not now, because we have a democracy now, sort of. It's not a proper democracy, to be fair, but it's still a democracy of one type or another. But you still feel you are the serfs to the billionaires, not the monarchy, but the billionaires. All you're doing is make them rich, and this is where a general strike, or in France, it would be a grief general or something, in Italy, they just had a 24-hour strike, okay? And this was because they had grievances because the Meloni government was supporting arms to Israel. And they were having none of it. So everyone basically just didn't go to work. I don't know what percentage of the population it was, but it pretty much put the country to standstill because all the transport was just shut down. It was just for 24 hours. Cost the country an absolute fortune. So she had to respond to it. That's my point. You still have a certain amount of power because these people won't be rich without you. These billionaires who are treating you like serfs wouldn't have the money they've got if it wasn't for you. So you have to hit them where it hurts. If you don't feel that you can fight against your fascist government in the United States, well then you need to you hit them where it really hurts, in the pocket, because that's all they care about. They only care about money. You see, these little titty babies, they're petrified. You see, once they've got it, they want to hold on to it. They never want to let go of their extreme wealth. They really don't. Saying that, actually, Bill Gates has been... I know I'm going to say Bill Gates again because he's pulls away from Microsoft and he's doing all like philanthropy. Oh, I can't say that bloody word. Philanthropy or whatever it is. Anyway, you've got regarding the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And I've raised money for RSPCA, what have you, and we managed to get some money for some new vans, what have you, for the RSPCA, which is the Royal Society for Protection of Animals. in cruelty, of animals. And so we managed to get money from that organisation, his foundation. So, he has done a lot of good. You might think he's evil, and maybe he was on that fucking island, along with Elon Musk, Prince Andrew, and Donald Trump, and Mr. Epstein. Oh, dear me. They're all there, weren't they? All there. All the people that are hurting you are the ones that hurt children, it seems. What is it with these people? God's sake, I don't get it. So what you got to understand is, you're not productive, Also, the GDP is not productive for the economy because you're not making anything. A lot of this movement money, a lot of the GDP, it isn't from product sales. A lot of it's from stocks, And the problem with that is a lot of that money doesn't even enter the country. Also, a lot of it's actually the money made from those stocks is investments that have been made abroad. So you haven't got anything physical to show for it. It's just a movement of money from one place to another. In many cases, the money doesn't even move. It's just a promise. Especially when you talk about futures and stuff like that in the stocks, it's just how it is. It always has been the same. So it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't, it's not going to cure autism, and not taking Tylenol won't cure either, apparently, God, that fucking man. I just can't get over what comes out of his mouth. He's such a fucking idiot. And the way he presents it, oh my giddy aunt. Sorry, I sidetracked there, but anyway, you get my point. By the end of this year, according to the Swiss bank, you're going to be in recession. I know it's just their analysis, and it could change. It could be next month. Anyway, you tell me. Please leave it in the comments down below, because I do read the comments, but you probably already know. But first, what I am going to say to you: protect yourself and be safe. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because it's not looking good. Anyway, I'll end on that. But please hit the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, and if you want to support the channel, do it on Patreon, buy us a coffee, and links down below. Toodaloo. You might feed a dog one or two.